Hornby has produced some magnetic couplings. Are they any good? Well, we're going to find out in today's video. So hello everyone and welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel. Now normally when I do a review I usually tend to review models, mainly locomotives or items of rolling stock even. It's not very often I tend to review other products, but today I thought I'd do something different, because what we have here are a couple of packs of magnetic couplings which Hornby announced in their range earlier this year, back in January. And they also released them earlier this year, sometime after they were announced. However, they are quite popular because they are basically sold out pretty much everywhere. However, there was one retailer that I did manage to find some of these magnetic couplings, and that retailer is Teenie Model Railway Shop on the Colney Valley Railway. So, like I say, I couldn't really find anywhere on the internet, retailer or places like eBay or whatever, that were selling the Hornby magnetic couplings. So when I saw them on the T&E Model Railway Shop, I went and bought some. Hornby have only done two types. There's the vacuum pipe magnetic couplings, which are the ones that I've got, and they've also done Buckeye magnetic couplings as well. They had all three of them, but with the vacuum pipe couplings they only had one of each pack that they've done, so I went and bought them. So here are both packs in front of you. So here we have R7400. These are 17mm, and then we have R7399, which are 20mm. And in each pack you get 8 pairs of couplings. So what we're going to do is we're going to open these, we're going to have a look at them in closer detail for a bit, and then we're going to put them to the test on the layout and see if they're any good or not. And I'll then be able to come to my personal conclusion on them and see what my experience is with them. I won't be the first person who's doing a video on these Hornby magnetic couplings, but I just thought it would be something different to do something like this for a change, and do a video on something a bit different instead of just doing reviews on locos and rolling stock all the time. Have a look at a different product. So first of all we're going to have a look at this pack, R7399, which these are the 20mm ones. And so here are the couplings. So I'm just going to have a look at one pair in detail. Now, first things first, these are not 3D printed. So that's great, because with the Westall Wagon Works Hunt couplings, they're great, but they are 3D printed. So you do have to be careful with them because they can be brittle. But these are not 3D printed, so they are more sturdy, shall we say. Also, with these, they don't rely on any polarity. The Elite Hunt couplings don't rely on polarity, but the original ones they produced with the round magnets did rely on polarity. They had the A and the B magnets. So you only really could couple stock up that had an A and a B. You couldn't couple B and B or A and A together. But these magnetic couplings don't rely on polarity. They don't have A or B magnets. So you can couple your stock up either way round. But also, these couplings are not lacking in detail. I mean, just have a look at the detail that's gone into the vacuum pipes. I mean, that just looks absolutely stunning. The magnets seem to be strong as well, and they seem to be fitted in place rather well. But first impressions, they look good. But we really need to test them out, just to see how good they really are. Right, so the couches that I'm going to be fitting with the 20mm magnetic vacuum pipe couplings are going to be the teak couches. Now, at present, these teaks are actually missing all the original Hunt magnetic couplings, and that's really because for these recent models that I've got my hands on, I've actually nicked the magnetic couplings off the teaks. But there we go. But that was because at the time I didn't really have any couplings on me, but now they've got these, I decided to fit these on. So they just fit into the NEM pocket. So I am getting them to face up, if you know what I mean. Well, when I've turned them upside down anyway on the roof. So once they're on the wheels, they're pointed down, so that they're facing the right way round. So I'll get all these fitted to the teaks. So I'm having to use a towel for this as well because I don't have a loco cradle. So I just thought I'd show fitting them, even though it is really simple. However, what I will say is that one of the original magnetic couplings I will keep on the teaks. This will be the one that gets coupled behind the locos, whereas the rest of the teaks will have the vacuum pipe magnetic couplings. So in no time at all 8 of my Gresley teak couches have all been fitted with the Hornby magnetic vacuum pipe couplings. So showing you 2 of the couplings coupled together, you can see that these are really close coupled. You don't get the gap that you get with the tension lock couplings, which does look rather silly. With these magnetic couplings, they are close coupled. I mean, they're not close to the point where the gangways are rubbing against each other, but they are still close coupled. And that does look much better visually, and also more realistic looking as well, especially with these vacuum pipe couplings. You can see just how much realism that they've added. And again, they just pull apart and connect very easily. And so with a full rake coupled together, if we just run them backwards and forwards, you can see that they are indeed strong, because by doing that they don't seem to want to become disconnected, which is great to see. But we do need to get them running around the layout properly just to see how good they really are. So the loco that's been given the honour to pull the teak couches in this video is the W1 in its original experimental as-built condition. No problems there at all. However, it is the curves that's the most crucial part of the testing of these magnetic couplings. As you can see, that like has managed to haul all those coaches down the couplings without them springing apart. And it's down the other end of the layout where the other curves are. And just like down on the end that we already showed you, no issues at all. Happy days. Well, these magnetic couplings have been on test for several minutes now, and I think it's safe to say there isn't really any point carrying out this testing for any longer. Not at least in terms of just running them around the layout, because as already established, they work perfectly. I will be sending the W1 with the teaks down the adjacent line, however, just to further test the couplings out. And as you can see, there's no issues here either. So with the clear verdict reached on those couplings, I might as well test out the other pack, which these are the 17mm couplings. And I know which coaching stock I'm going to be testing these out on. And so the coaching stock that will be fitted with the other Hornby magnetic couplings will be the Hatton's Genesis coaches in LNWR livery. Now, whilst both ends of the train does have magnetic couplings, the rest of the couplings are tension locks, and they really should be switched to magnetic couplings, I think. So now is the time to fit those with magnetic couplings. And I also have to say, for the record, I have had some unreliability issues with these tension locks on these coaches. So swapping over to magnetic couplings should solve that. Right, so all these coaches have now got magnetic couplings. Now, I haven't shown fitting any of these couplings to the coaches on screen, just because I've already shown that with the teaks. But as you can see, they come apart and connect as they should. And again, they feel strong couplings as well, running the rake back and forth. They don't seem to want to come apart. And again, you can see that not only have those couplings added realism to these models, but also again, just look at the close coupling that you get with these. You can see just how close the buffers are as well. They are actually, in fact, almost touching. Right, so we've got Hardwick pulling the rake. Possibly a dirty spot of track there. Oh, hang on a sec, we've got a problem. So as you've just seen on camera, we've had a derailment. And the reason for this is because of how close these couplings are. The problem lies within the fact that these couplings are really too close for these coaches. You can see the buffers are almost touching, and that's the problem. When they go around corners, the buffers clash, causing the derailment. Now, I have an idea in mind of how to fix this. It is quite simple. So the fix I have in mind for this is actually going to be quite simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the coupling, but I'm going to fit it back in again, but I'm not going to fit it in all the way in the pocket, because I'm hoping that I'll be able to get it out a bit more, and then that shouldn't let the buffers go so close together so that when they go around corners they just clash and then derail the coaches. And what I'm going to do to hold them in place and secure them, I'm going to use just a very small amount of black tack. So just put a very small amount on the end of the coupling, and that should secure it in place. And so that's a really simple fix. So all the couplings have now been refitted, and I know at this point some of you are probably thinking, oh well, that modification isn't going to work very well. Well, you'll be surprised. Is that enough convincing for you? Running these back and forth, they don't want to all come apart, and you can still connect and disconnect them. So I think it's safe to say that that's cured the problem. So Hardwick is back out, coupled up to the rail. And as you can see, now it goes around those corners perfectly, with no issues. Now I'll do the same test like I did for the W1. Run Hardwick along the adjacent line with these coaches with the magnetic couplings. Typical issue with some slight stalling there, but happy days, that's a success. So now we can get both trains running on the layout. So we've reached the end of this video. There isn't really any more testing than I can do with these magnetic couplings on this layout. I think I've done as much testing as I can possibly do with them. What I will say is though about the couplings that are fitted to the LNWR coaches, I think those couplings that are fitted to those coaches, I think that they're probably perhaps maybe more suited to layouts that have gentler curves where the radius aren't so large. I mean, if that's the case, we live and learn from that. It's not something I realised at the time. But regardless, I was still able to find a fix for that, so I was still able to, in the end, use those couplings on the LMWR coaches. And it is a simple fix, and that didn't give me any problems when I did that. But as for the couplings themselves, we asked earlier, are the Hornby magnetic couplings any good? And without a shadow of any doubt, I think the answer in short for that has to be a yes. I mean, how can these couplings not be considered good, or great even? They really are a fantastic product. As you've seen in this video, with the amount of testing that I could carry out on these couplings, I've not had any issues with them. No issues with the couplings breaking, magnets coming out of the couplings, or the couplings coming out of the pockets full stop, or even any reliability issues. Well, except for the fact that when I first fitted the couplings to the LNWR coaches, the buffers clashed, but I fixed that and there was no issues. But regardless, you know what I mean, I haven't really come across any other issues with them, and I think, to be honest, that one problem I did come across is probably my own doing, to be honest, but again, we live and learn. But like I say, they really are a fantastic product, and I would definitely recommend, when they come back into stock, which I hope they do, getting some for yourself and trying them out. And if Hornby does re-release their magnetic couplings, which I'm sure they will, then I wouldn't mind considering fitting some more of them to some of my other rolling stock. You know, they really are a fantastic product, so highly recommended. So well done to Hornby for joining in on the magnetic coupling market. So that is now the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It has been something a little bit different from what I usually tend to do. If you have enjoyed this video, then why not subscribe to the channel? Feel free to do that. Also feel free to drop us a comment and give us a like. And while you're at it, why not check out all my other videos I've got on the channel. But until next time, take care.